Just a young buck. You know.
I sometimes forget how young you are. Like actually.
Why? Because I act old?
No, it's more just
Jodi
like me, you,
buck.
and like John. We came up with Streamer Camp season 1 together, and I kind of just like equated us all with like. Mentally, my brain was like, oh, we're like all like within 3 years.
Well, that's what I think of the entire like. Okay, after high school, I really stopped thinking about age when I met people. So I just think of everyone as like my age.
You're going to jail. I'm kidding. Anyway, no, yeah,
I meant it.
I think especially in this industry where like people are like crazy range of ages. Yeah. Like it. Sometimes for me, like lately, I've been feeling like I've always been 30 or like over 30. But I was like, oh no, there was a period of time where I was in my 20s. Like my friends remember, some of my friends remember me when I was in my 20s. There was a time. But like, yeah, it's weird. I have this mental shift where I feel like I've always been like 30 or older, even though it's only been like less than 2 years.
Okay. Do you know why I feel old sometimes? Actually, there are a few reasons. Number one, I remember distinctively when I started streaming. Number two, I've been streaming for 9 years. You don't like forget that you've been doing something for 9 years. Number three, with each year that I get older, I notice like obviously in the Twitch audience, there's always a younger audience, a younger part of the audience, right? So I'm like, I'm getting older, but there's always 12-year-old or like 13-year-olds in the chat or like 15-year-olds. You know what I mean? Like I can feel and I know I've lived through getting older because I've done the same job for almost 10 years. It's a long ass time. It's like a third of my life. That's a long time.
2 years.
I've always been on the older spectrum of the friend group, always. Like I'm lucky that Edison exists because he is the dinosaur, and I'm like the younger dinosaur.
Like for the people in the chat that are like 20 or younger, I've streamed for half your life. What were you doing 10 years ago? Like that's literally me. I've been doing this for almost 10 years. Half your life I've been doing this. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy when you think about it. 15, that means I've been like literally doing this for most of your life. Ever since you've been born, I've been doing this.
And then like I just assume everyone else is like some years younger than me. It's like within like a range of like Jamie to normal.
Jamie. I keep forgetting how young
Jamie's
she
a
is.
baby.
I literally like in my mind, everyone is
Baby Jamie.
20 something. Like literally, just everyone's 20 something.
Like,
just
it blows
because
my
I'm
mind.
20 something.
Like
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Myth,
think of anything.
Jamie, they're
27.
22. That's crazy to me.
They just graduated college.
Jesus.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, Jamie just turned 22? No
Or
way.
I think she might be 23
23.
now.
She's
I
turning
think Jamie
23.
just turned 23.
Yeah.
And
Or
Myth is
turn.
younger.
She just
And Myth
turned
is
23.
younger.
Yeah.
So that's why I said Jamie to.
Yeah, crazy. I really don't think about it anymore.
I don't think
but
about it that much.
Yeah.
I like it better this way. Like
I do like it better this way
Yeah.
too. I feel like there's like less of a gate.
Yeah,
or
when I was in
something.
high school, it was like, oh my god, you can't be friends with the seniors. They're senior. I don't know. It was like something, and the seniors don't want to be friends because you're
old.
younger. And now I'm just like, who cares? It doesn't matter. Okay, but the senior to freshman, it was different. Okay, like you didn't want to be friends with freshmen because they like. Okay, I think the age difference between when you are a freshman to a senior is a lot, but I do think that 25-year-olds and 30-year-olds are at different parts of their life, but in terms of just general maturity, is pretty,
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that for my benefit, because
Yeah.
I mean, age gap between me and my girlfriend is like 25 to 30.
That's fine.
That's fine.
That's
Yeah.
great.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But it is crazy that shifted 5 more years down, like 25 to 20.
Okay, actually, here's my take on having friends that are much younger than you versus like I have some really young friends. But to be fair, I met them when I was also younger and they were also younger. Like, for example, like take Heather, she's like, she came to my stream when she was 16 and we just happened to really like vibe well. And I was like 21 too. No, Heather. Shubu was even younger. Kelly was like 12 at the time. I've actually spoken to her kind of recently, but like Heather, she's like my little sister. I literally went to her high school graduation, and I would have gone to her university graduation this year actually, but COVID and I'm here right now. But yeah, it's crazy. Like we grew up together, like I watched her grow up. And there's like, and I think the thing about having friends that are younger or even older or whatever is as long as you're open. I think this is also why I don't feel as old as I am, is because I do have a lot of friends who are younger than me, and I don't actively try to like put a barrier or like line between it. Sometimes I feel the old. I definitely feel it sometimes. Like if they say something and I'm like, only a 21-year-old can say something, like, you know what I mean? Like there are certain things that people say that only people of a certain age will say. And I'm just like, I would never say that right now. But I also think like, even though you might be older, as long as you keep a really open mind in terms of like learning and in terms of like being accepting of like the way they talk, the way they kind of like carry themselves, or even just like the lingo or anything, that me saying this sounds hella old. But when you keep an open mind, it's really easy to kind of mesh with everyone, even if they're like a lot younger than you. I feel like I would be able to talk to someone who's like 17 or 18 and not have a problem. You know, it's just like, what are you interested in? Cool. You know, it's like, as long as you don't kind of put that mental border in between you and whoever you're making friends with, it literally doesn't matter. Would you ever say no cap, no kizzy? Yeah, I would. Only in the proper context, though. I wouldn't use it randomly. Then it sounds hella boomer. But, you know, like, in a very nuanced condition, I would say it for fun. I would.
20.
It's like when you say like no cap, you know?
Just different parts of your life,
yeah.
you know?
I do remember. Yeah, it's crazy because I remember one of my friends in high school.
Hard
he was
to
a freshman.
feel
We were both
pride
freshmen.
in being older these days. I don't even think like being older should be something you should be prideful about. Like what? What should you feel pride in? Oh yeah, I lived longer than you. I haven't died yet. I've experienced these things before you. I don't know. I don't really think you need to specifically pride and maturity and lessons learned. I don't think there's a difficulty in feeling pride in that. I don't know. I don't really feel like it needs to be a pride thing. It's just kind of like, I've lived a certain amount of time more than you, but you probably might eventually learn the same thing. It's because of hierarchy. I think in some societies, like I feel like in like East Asian societies, age plays a lot more into it. But I think because I mean, like I understand both cultures where like age matters a lot and that kind of stuff, hierarchy. And then also just growing up on the Western side where it doesn't matter. Some say I'm older, so you should respect me more. Listen, I will respect you if you deserve respect. I don't care how old you are. If you're like 50 and you're a shitty person, I'm not going to respect you. It doesn't matter how old you are. That's it.
Freshman, and he was dating a senior. And like back then I thought like, dude, that's so cool. You're dating a senior. But like looking back, I was like, oh, that's like kind of predatory.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's an adult and a child.
Yeah.
When
like,
I was in 7th grade, I had 2 girlfriends that were dating seniors in high school.
Ew.
And I used to be like, oh, wow, that's crazy. How do they like date a senior? And then now I'm like,
Oh, that's crazy. How did they date
that's
a
trouble.
senior?
That's trouble. Also, one of them ended up pregnant.
Ew.
She has 2 kids now.
Hey.
But I'm just like, that's fucking crazy. Like, I feel like if my parents knew, if I was...
My prof got mad at me for disagreeing with his opinion because he was older and we ended up hating each other. Yeah, I disagree with that. I feel like if someone has an opinion, it better make sense. Not because he's older. Like, your age over someone shouldn't be a reason that you're right. Like, your reasoning for why you say something should make sense to anyone. It's not about, like, how old you are. I also don't... although I do think sometimes, not all the time, But you know when people who are older than you go like, "Oh, you'll see," like, "You'll see I'm right when you get here." I think that phrase can be really frustrating to the person listening who is younger. But there is a certain level of truth to it where even I've said it myself. It does happen, right? Like when you clearly see like something is problematic with someone that they're having any kind of relationship with, like friendship or like romantic relationship, and you're just like, these are bad. And then they'll be like, why? Like, why would you say something like that? Blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, well, it comes with like experience, you know, like I've experienced this myself in like this many years, you know, and it's like, sometimes it's like, I guess you just have to find better words, but sometimes it really is like someone who's older than you has had that amount of time to experience more than you. And so it's really easy to be like, you know, it's true sometimes, but I disagree with using age as a justification of like having a certain opinion and like telling people they're not allowed to disagree with you because you're bound to be right because of your age. That is not true.
Was dating.
That's why they wouldn't be okay with it.
Yeah.
At that age, we don't understand why that's weird.
Not at all. Yeah.
Or like maybe we have an inkling, but like not really. But like looking back,
Inkling?
it's like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah. I actually almost feel like high school was just yesterday because it was such a...
Yeah.
Really
Yeah. Yeah, high school was definitely
Sorry.
yesterday for me too, Jodi. See, when I hear something like that, that's when I feel old.
Not like it was because it's such an influential time. Like, it's really your world.
totally.
Like, school is really your world for
Yeah, it was totally
majority
yesterday
of
for me
my
too.
time. Like, okay, like I was in school until I was 18. Like,
It's a big chapter. It's,
it's
like
a
full
huge
novel of your
chapter.
story.
It's
So
been
it
more than
feels
10 years for
very,
me.
like, close by, even though it's been many years since I've graduated. But because it was so much of my life, it was like so much of what I know.
Guys, I graduated high school in 2009. It's 2022. It's been more than 10 years since I graduated from high school.
High school was more important to me than college because in college I didn't have like a very close friend group. In high school, it felt like a lot of people were more connected, but in college, you had to like.
Sunny? Can't hear
put a
you.
lot more effort.
I feel super similar.
And
Over
also,
my
like,
old
I
age.
was just traveling a lot, so I only had like 1 or 2 people or 3 people that like I hung out with. College for me was literally like becoming pro, like league player.
Oh.
I
then,
was
like,
6
at some
in
point,
2009.
16 hours-
God,
16
how are you
credit hours
guys
before
even
I just-
allowed to be here? How old are you now? How old are you guys? Get out of my chat. I'm just kidding. Guys, I was born in 91. I graduated high school in 2009. I gotta go take a lap. I'm gonna go pee. You guys are making me sad. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, when people tell me they're born after the year 2000, I'm like, are we even allowed to exist in the same room? God dang. God dang. Are we allowed? You're born after the year 2000? Shit. 2009. Oh my god. Okay, we're back. Let me go pee. Car crash. BRB. 2000 and... Hello. What? What? What is it? Chase me out of your bed. Chase me out of your bed. Chase me out of your bed. And you chase me out of your bed. You chase me out of your bed. Being 30, you're practically my older cousin's age. I was considering the second generation of 20 to 23-year-old relatives. Huh? Yes. Yes.
Just quit college. And now if you look back at my grades, I'll be like, what the fuck? This guy sucked at college. I skipped finals for one class. Wait. I'm wondering if I said I skipped a final for one class to go to a tournament. And I begged the teacher afterwards, can I please let me retake your final?
You know you're old when you sit at the adults table at Asian gatherings? I'm still on the kids table. Don't worry about it.
To another tournament, I never asked me. I just took the F in the class. I was like, you know what? It's too embarrassing.
Actually, you know what's crazy is that I'm the youngest on my mom's side of the family. So all my cousins are hella old. Like, my cousins are actually in their 40s and 50s now. And it's crazy to me how time passed because my cousins and my aunts and uncles and my mom and all my family relatives on my mom's side, we all used to do a lot of family gatherings. And I remember, like, you know, I was like 6 or 7 and my cousins were like 15, 16, whatever, right? I'm 30. So that means they're 40, 50 now. And damn, you know, like, that's another thing you think about too.
I cannot do it. I feel so...
You know, you should email him.
No, please.
I mean, it's been so far out now that I'm sure, like, the professor, like, doesn't actually care.
Yeah, he probably doesn't.
Damn,
just be like, hey, man, just letting you know, like, I appreciate you giving me the second shot, and I'm sorry that I didn't go, but letting you know, I'm fucking rich now, so, like...
I'm a balling.
Yeah, so, like, I wasn't, like... Because I'm thinking in his head, he's probably thinking, like, oh, he's, like, a lost cause. Like, he's just not motivated, and, like, he probably is not doing well in life. But, like, you know, like, just...
School isn't everything.
Yeah.
And you went a different path.
Yeah, exactly.
What are things that people in their 30s say? I don't know. Taxes. I don't know. What do I say? I'm 30. Taxes? How's your portfolio? Time for the gym. I don't think we say anything in particular. Back in my days, my back. Dude, you know what's crazy? My friend Heather has been complaining about her knees since she was like 20, and I'm like, bro, what happened to you? I don't even complain about my knees or my back, and she's like, she's like 2/3 of my age. She's like, my back, my kneecaps, and I'm like, what happened to you?
Exactly. School isn't everything.
To you?
Holy shit.
It really isn't.
That reminded me. There's a TikTok recently that it's like a guy saying like having mandatory classes in college and like
sports
only being able to miss 3 makes no sense. I'm paying you. You should have 3 absences and you're out. I don't pay you for this class. I can show up whenever I want. Like I'm the customer here. And it's like, yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
Wait,
like,
I never had mandatory.
I did.
What? So, I don't get it.
If you don't attend X amount of classes, you automatically fail.
You fail.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't have that?
No.
Really? I think for me, I think it's pretty common where like lectures are not mandatory, but like the discussion sections with the TA, like the smaller classes discussing the lecture material is typically mandatory.
Why the fuck would I have to? Sorry. Why would I? Did I swear in this? I forgot. Why do I need to? Why would I need to show up? Like, what if I'm just doing fucking fine? What if I like get my notes from my classmates? Or
I honestly think at a certain point it's like an ego thing. Like seriously, I think
The whole
like
system's fucked.
I think professors showing up to like a lecture and it's like empty or something, or like it has to be an ego thing, right? Like it's like what, like how does it like actually impact them that students aren't showing
Because
up?
like your money's already.
I had an amazing professor. Well, it was for one of my electives, but there was a certain professor that taught a freshman course, and everybody called it a bird course because it was super easy, but it was literally Psych 101. And most people took it because it's a bird course, but the professor was absolutely amazing. Nobody missed his classes because he was so funny and he knew how to deliver all his lectures without like, reading off the PowerPoint or whatever. Like he was just so good at speaking, so engaging, so funny. And I went to every single one of his lectures because he was such a good professor. And there was no attendance, but they're amazing. You know what I mean? Like I think when there are amazing professors, like they inspire you to want to go into class. And that's great, right? And the funniest part was like, he also rewarded the students that went to class and went to lectures because there would always be 1 or 2 questions on the exam that gave extra points that you could only answer if you were listening to his lectures. Like he would tell like a certain like anecdote or a story, and then in the exam he would be like, oh, during one of the lectures, like blah, 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 we talked about this, like what happened then, and only the people who went to the lectures would know, or unless you recorded it, I guess, but you would still have to listen to the lecture afterwards. But either way, it was really cool. Like he rewarded students who actually attended his lectures, like bonus information.
You paid.
Yeah, you just fail the students, right?
Yeah.
It just looks bad.
But like for me, it was like every class had that rule. Like every so often you'd have a cool teacher that's like, yeah, you're fine, you're good.
I did notice that it's more common in like art classes, like where there's production involved. Because I had like I was
He
like
was
a
a
media
really
art
W
student.
prof.
So like I had a lot of production courses, and I noticed that like the classes where like if I took like art history or something, those typically weren't mandatory. But if I took like a video class, those were for sure. Like if there was a class where I created projects, those were more mandatory.
Like, that's so funny because mine were the opposite.
Really?
Mine were like, if you had like film history, that teacher was like, you need to be in class. You got to be learning your history. And then if you had like cinematography, he's like, oh, you have a shoot? Yeah, go do the shoot. Like, you're going to learn more there than here.
Yeah.
That actually makes more sense. I don't know why they did the opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, to be fair though, like the discussions were mandatory. So like what happened was like they wanted you to like talk with the TAs about your projects, and like so it wasn't like it wasn't just like you were learning anything. It was like more like hands-on stuff.
Huh.
I recently found my old Vimeo account.
Oh my God.
That has all my like student projects.
Yes.
And almost all of them have my ex-girlfriend in it. So I just burned that thing to the fucking ground.
Oh my god.
Burned it to the ground. I was like, nope. Like, just like seeing her like makes me cringe. Not because I like have anything against her. It just reminds me of that period of
Different
time.
Wait, I feel very similarly. Like if something reminds me of my ex, I'm like, oh.
Cringe.
Not even because it's not about them. It's more like the me that I was when I was with them.
Yes,
And
I
I'm like,
was.
ugh.
Yes, I was. I'm gonna be honest. I was a terrible boyfriend to my first girlfriend. Like awful. Like we were each other's first everything, but like I was like
Aw.
extremely insecure, like very like passive aggressive, argumentative for no reason. Like I think a lot of my insecurities like came out in like very negative, like toxic ways, and like I took it out on her. And then like it's like our breakup was like a huge period of me like figuring these things out and trying to be like better essentially, and never being that person
Yeah.
again. But so like when I see myself from back then, I'm just like, I feel like I'm looking at a different person that was able to like inflict those wrongs. Yeah. Oh,
Oh
God.
my God. Burning CDs is such a old thing. Did I ever tell you guys the story of how I discovered hentai? A really freaking funny story. So when I was younger, the only way I used to watch anime was like my brother downloaded torrented anime and then like burned it onto CDs, and he had an album of anime, right? And I'm a binger. I think I definitely developed my my show watching and my binging tendencies from a young age. Like I used to binge like Cantonese dramas, like TVB dramas. I used to binge anime. I used to binge like whatever, anything, Korean dramas. And so we had a whole album of CDs of anime. I don't even think my brother knows this. I've never told him, and I hope he never sees my stream where I tell this story, but I would go through the entire album watching all the anime, and one time like I was flipping through it, I didn't know what it meant, right? And on the it just says hentai on the CD. And then I'm like, and I looked at him and I asked him, "Hey, what's this?" Right? He's like, "Don't worry about it. Just don't watch it." And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Just don't." And I'm like, "Okay." Right? So then when he left the house, by the way, I was like, I don't know, 10? And the age gap between my brother and I is 10 years. Maybe I was 9. I don't remember how old I was. I was a kid. Anyway, so I just asked him what it was. I don't know. And I'm like, curiosity, obviously. So then when he left to go out, I went on his computer and I popped the disc into the CD drive. Boom. And then I was like, wonder what this is. Ooh, like a new anime, you know? And then I'm like, oh. And then I immediately exited out and like took the disc out, put it back into the album, closed it, zipped it, put it back exactly where it was. And I was like, okay, I understand now. I understand. I became aware.
That's cringe.
But I mean, yeah, honestly, it's good. We should cringe at our past selves because it means we've grown. Yeah. And like being that self-aware is really good.
Yeah. Ugh. But yeah. Oh God, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
My eyes.
Actually, I didn't delete the account, but I logged out instantly and just like closed everything. So there is an account out there that has all those videos, but like.
Nice. We can have a cringe compilation.
Or you can.
Okay, but to be absolutely fair, and not even to my brother's defense, why would you write in all capital letters spelt out? Literally just says hentai. Like he couldn't have like named it something else or like put a different symbol on it or something. It was just in all capital letters with permanent marker on the CD. I don't know.
On to older.
Yeah, that's normal and not weird at all.
She might even appreciate that.
But you still watched it? Yeah, because I was curious.
Don't do that.
Do you guys ever discuss your exes?
He's like, don't do it. And then I'm like, but I'm curious, and I go and watch it.
Jealous?
Actually, I definitely am very guilty of being curious and literally died because of my curiosity. I remember when I was really young, my parents were actually pretty chill. Like they actually let me stay up really late sometimes. Like they let me stay up until like midnight or whatever, right? So there's one time where I was just like throwing a little tantrum. I'm like, no, I want to stay up with Big Brother and watch a movie, right? And my brother loves horror movies. So he was watching this like Chinese horror movie, and I was like under the covers, like next to my older brother, and I was like watching like this horror movie, right? Me literally shaking in my boots. And it was so scary and so traumatizing to me. I watched the entire thing and I couldn't sleep. I started crying to my mom and I was like, I can't sleep. Like, it's so scary. No, it was horrifying. Okay, let me tell you the premise. It was basically, there's these evil spirits and they were like locked up in these like little gourds, like the Chinese like gourds, and they were next to like the Buddha statue and they were being like sealed, right? But then like some lady or some person knocks over the gourds and then all the evil spirits come out of the little things they were sealed in, and then the lady that lived in the household was pregnant, and so the evil spirit like went into her stomach and like possessed her child, and then as she was like growing the baby, like her stomach opened and it looked like, you know, like those like the scary like fly trap things, like the bees with the teeth. Her stomach opened and like the baby was not a human, obviously. It like turned into like blah, and it would like blah, you know, outside of her stomach, and it was fucking horrifying. I was like 9. You know? That shit's scary. I'm like, that is not normal. It was so scary. Oh man, God.
No.
Okay. So like there are times where like my girlfriend will. It's not like she's being toxic, but she's like, oh, I kind of wish we experienced these things first together, as opposed to like it being someone else and then.
No,
me.
I don't think that. I mean, that's just because you love the current person that you're with. You like.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that makes sense. So like I understand that, but like sometimes I could just see the look in her eyes, like, damn it, I wish it was me, not her. I'm like, it's fair. But,
I'm also not like talking to John about my ex. Like, oh my god.
Oh, Adge. Time to jam. Hello. Dude, the thing is like it's not even like the object was something that could shatter. It was like the lid of it came off, like the cork or whatever, because it was in one of those like little gourds, and they're not very like, they don't shatter, right? They just kind of like fall on the ground, but like the little cork that like sealed the thing, it just like fell out, and then the evil spirit came out, and it was like, you know, it's traumatizing when I can still tell the story like 20 years later, and I still remember vividly what that movie was about. Like, you know, it was freaking traumatizing. I still remember the details. God. No, it was like a Chinese horror movie. It was Chinese. What was the first video game you remember playing? I think it might have been Mario Kart, Mario Party, or Tetris. One of them. Do you think Chinese zombies are scary? No. I think Chinese zombies are so troll. Okay. I think they aren't scary to me because I remember there used to be like, you know, like Stephen Chow and his crew. Yeah, like Chi-Chi. But like there was this one movie. Some of you guys might know if you're old enough, but there was this one movie where it was like a parody of like the Chinese zombie movies, where basically, so it was like each zombie had like a preferred blood type, and for some reason they like had like a little like card that showed them like which preferred blood type they liked. And then I remember like one of the characters came up to a zombie, like they encountered a zombie, and they're like, oh, you can't drink blood for me because I'm like a this blood type or that blood type. And then the zombie goes like, opens up their jacket, and then like all the blood types fall out, like they unfold, and then it just like all the cards drop out, and they're like, actually I could drink all the types of blood. Like, you know, it was like, I don't know, like it was just so funny to me. I feel like I saw so many like weird Chinese zombie parodies in movies. Like they were all kind of like comedic, that like it made me not scared of it. But I've always been more afraid of like ghost movies or like evil spirits. I've never been scared of like zombie movies. Like American zombies are fine. Chinese, like East Asian zombies are fine. But like ghosts, spirits, poltergeists, like things you can't actually see, definitely scare me more. Because I'm just like, you never know, they could exist. But yeah.
Oh, there was this one. I'm more like, oh god. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm never like, it's never in an environment for him to really be jealous.
Yeah, like what was it?
Hello.
I went to Seattle a lot with my ex, and then I just recently went to Seattle with.
I've seen Asian
it was her first time.
Horror movies.
And I was telling her like, oh, these are the places.
Japanese ones
like,
are hella
like,
scary.
Where'd you go? I was like, oh, it was with my ex, you know, like that. So like, I remember I have a lot of good memories like being there, but like it was not because of my ex necessarily, but it's because I love the place so much. So yeah.
Oh no.
I think she got to rewrite those memories with.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Deepfakes aren't bad.
Not literally, okay?
I mean that's kind of
dude. Deepfake technology
sense.
is scary.
Yeah,
I haven't seen much of
it's
it.
getting so good.
It's getting
I said
so
go to Head in
good.
the Clouds.
Watch
actually,
the new like Kendrick Lamar music
one
video.
of the days.
He deepfakes like 6 faces onto himself, and they look pretty good.
That's kind of scary.
It is scary.
Wait, yeah.
Dude, I just thought about like the potential like propaganda that you can do with deepfakes, and it's terrifying. Like you could basically simulate anyone doing anything.
Yeah.
And you could just use that to slander them. Like imagine if I like created a home video of like, I don't know, let's say Broden like doing some kind of crazy sex stuff, but it wasn't actually Broden, you know? But then I just kind of threw it out there. He's like, I mean, it could be Broden. It kind of looks like him. Look at his face. Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, you could defake me at a club, you know?
But if you think about it, now you can say, oh, that's not me. It's a deepfake.
Yeah.
There's a number of... so deepfakes have gotten a lot better. You can
Thank you,
also simulate speech now. Like there's programs where you put in... Like they do it with like a lot of presidents because there's so much just like public audio of them that people could probably do it with you guys. But you take their audio, you put it into the program, and the program basically knows like, okay, this is what an A sounds like, E sounds like, I sounds like. And then you can literally just like type a sentence and then hear Jodi say that sentence.
Yeah.
Wait, we don't even have to stream then. We just...
Oh my God. I could hire someone to be me.
You could have a VTuber VTube you.
Yeah.
That's the next level.
This is the future.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's terrifying.
I could be in the Bahamas, and then I'd be like, hey, what's up, other me? You doing good?
Wait, you turn on the stream, you have the VTuber, you just have a laptop where you type whatever the fuck you want to say, and you're in the Bahamas, but your VTuber will say what you say.
The thing is, you don't even have to do any of that. Your VTuber just types it out, and it speaks using his voice. So like zero effort on your part.
It's just genius.
You just hope that the VTuber's funny.
Oh shit. But I'll be in the Bahamas. I'll be chilling. Oh God. Okay.
What's in the Bahamas? Just beaches?
You know, I always dream of like, man, vacationing would be so fun. And at some point, we're going on vacation this year for sure, right, guys? You know, we're going.
All I want to do is travel.
That's all I want to do.
Sure. I think I traveled so much when I was like in my early 20s. That, like traveling for me is like not as cool as I thought it would be. Oh. And like I love the idea of traveling, and then like when I'm there traveling, I'm always like, I'm kind of chilling. I don't know. I kind of want to go back. I think I love traveling for like a period of like 1 week, like 1 week to 1 half week. I'm fucking great. This is great.
What were you traveling for when you were in your 20s? Like, was it for vacation? Was it for work?
It was for tournaments.
Oh,
I traveled everywhere.
I think that would change your mindset, right? Like you're not on your own time.
Yeah.
Like but, that would probably affect how I do it.
I think I'm excited to travel again, but I'm also just like...
You know what's actually crazy? I've never been to like a vacation spot for vacation for a long period of time. I think for me, I've literally never traveled to any like tropical spots or whatever. The only place I would say I went to was like maybe like 4 or 5 days in Cuba with my parents, but I don't know how much I enjoyed it. It was definitely an interesting experience. I think I was getting withdrawal from the lack of internet. Oh, it was so painful. From the lack of internet in Cuba. Oh man, it was bad. But obviously water was really nice. Sand, beach, very nice. Sun, very nice. Food, not bad. Environment, very calming. Like I went to sleep every day at like 9 and woke up at like 5 because I had nothing else to do, and it was like vacation, but it was nice. Like it was nice in its own way. But I think like after that, like traveling with my parents, I've definitely never had a vacation for like a week or 2, and I would love to. And I think I still want to, but it's just really difficult at the moment to do. Mostly because of COVID too. Like COVID does not help, especially with like certain countries that I would want to go to and like their mandatory quarantines and all that other stuff. But I've never been to Japan. I would love to go back to Korea at some point. So many places I would love to see and visit. But it also comes with a stress of like streaming. But I guess if I traveled, I would definitely try to do IRL streaming. I would definitely try to do IRL streaming as much as I could.
I kind of like being a homebody.
I'm a homebody too, but as soon as I'm out, I'm like, oh, this is nice.
It's not bad.
I think just like there's something nice about being a homebody, but I also feel like it's not fulfilling.
Yeah.
Oh, I am not fulfilled. I am not fulfilled at all.
It's so funny because I live with this guy, right? And Danny, and I think I stream a lot. I do. Okay, last month I hit like 260 hours, which is the most amount of time I've streamed in the last 3 years on a month basis.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Danny hit 340 hours that month, I think. Danny streams the most of anyone I know, period. Anyone in our friend group, he streams literally from like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. to like
That's
midnight past every day.
Danny is
Our
crazy.
apartment is like the 3 levels of streaming.
Yeah. It's like him who still does 60, like 40 to 60 hours a week.
Yeah.
And then me who does about 60 hours a week, or 60, 70.
Mine ranges more. I think mine's like between 20 to 60.
Yeah.
But
and
like
I'm like consistent 60, and Danny's like
110.
yeah, like a 90. Whoa. So like I'm just like, yeah, we should get out of the house. I didn't think I'd live with someone who streamed more than me. I wake up every day, he's streaming.
Tarek does stream a lot.
Sometimes,
dude, it's crazy. Tarek streams a lot. Like I know he's on the East Coast, but like sometimes I wake up and like he's already been streaming for like 4 or 5 hours, and then like he's still streaming when it's like 1 a.m. for me. Like, Tarek streams a lot. He actually does stream a lot. It's crazy to me. I used to stream a lot, but I have learned to take a step back, mostly for my own mental and physical well-being. I definitely used to stream 200 to 300 hours a month. And now, on average, for the past 5 months, I stream a consistent 150 hours every month. I think 150 is a pretty good number. It's definitely not low, definitely not crazy high, but it's a pretty good number. I think like 150 is a number that I'm very comfortable with, and it's fine. Yeah, Minecraft days are very easy to binge because there's just so much to do. There's like endless amount of things to do. I think nowadays like there's more of a game drought, and like I like having fun streams. So if I don't have much to do, I'd rather cut it short than like kind of drag it along and feel like it's not as entertaining or fun. But like even if, for example, like today I'm not really gonna play any games. I'm not playing any games, and most of it we just spent the past literal 4 hours like talking, reacting, chilling. But I think like those are fine and fun on their own days too. So it's like I'm just like kind of taking a step back, and I like if there are things to do, I'm down to grind. Like even during like Twitch Rust Twitch Rivals, like I streamed 40 hours of the 48 of the event. You know what I mean? Like I am perfectly capable of being a grinder. I've been streaming, you know, for this many years. But I definitely like take a step back, and I'm like, there are definitely days where I'm just like, man, I should take a break. You know, I should sleep more and whatever. So I'm like, I think 150 is pretty good. 150 is a decent amount of hours. Like it's a good, like I'm definitely present in streaming, and I'm definitely still actively trying to take some days to relax. But even in the days I take to relax, I'm like cleaning my house and stuff. So yeah, it's like a 40-hour week. Like it's pretty decent. It's a little bit more than 40, I would say. If I did like 120, it would be no, it is a 40-hour week. A little less than a 40-hour week, which is like your average worker.
Streams when I am, and I'm just like, oh my fucking god.
Wait, that's funny though, because Danny's also like, if you're like, hey, we're going out tonight, he's like, I'm down.
Yeah.
Not lately.
But I was gonna say, I think Danny's on just the Radiant grind.
He's on the Valorant grind right now.
But he is on the Radiant grind.
The thing is, he's like enjoying himself so much streaming that like I'm just like, I'm not gonna pull you away from this.
He's so funny.
He's a machine though.
He's so funny. But Danny, it's interesting that we moved it. And it's so funny because like we moved in and we still don't have our living room set up.
We are working on furnishing our place.
It's been a work in progress for 4 weeks.
Wait, I actually feel similarly about our place. I like furnish my room, and then I'm like,
no. Our place is the couch.
I didn't even finish.
And then it's just we have the couch. We have no table, so it's just 2 big cardboard boxes that say literally gaming on it, and as our like tables. And then we have a wall.
Would you compare working 40 hours a week versus streaming 40 hours a week? Yes, I would compare it. Yes, it's the same. It is absolutely the same. And I'll tell you what, until you're in my seat, you will not understand how draining it is to be a streamer. On the outside, it might seem very easy, and it's definitely not as physically demanding as someone who does hard labor, obviously. Like comparing a 40-hour like construction worker week to a 40-hour like streamer week might not be comparable, obviously. But I think there's just it being a streamer, there's a different set of struggles that your average person doesn't actually have to deal with. And I'll name a few. Like, number one, constantly being in the public eye. Number two, actively having to be aware mentally about the things you say, the influence you have on people, how you look, your image. Number three, like, you have to have social platforms. You have to manage those. Like, how you look on that. You're constantly being judged and under a magnifying glass by thousands of people that don't give a shit about you. Not really. Some of them maybe do, and they're also like across the world. Constantly thinking about like what can be entertaining, what is entertaining. You also have to read chats and comments, and you have to have like the mental capacity to deal with all of this. Also being in front of the camera for like 4 to 8 hours a day, whatever it is, 4 to 12 hours, whatever, right? Any amount of hours per week, per month, every year. I think like being in this position, it comes with a different set of struggles, and I don't think, I definitely think it is comparable to like your average person, like working 40 hours in your average desk job versus 40 hours as a streamer. I definitely think they're both draining in their own sense. It's just different challenges. And I also think like the amount of mental taxing streaming does to a person is way worse than what your average person deals with. Like I can attest to the fact that when I was a regular university student, before I even started like Instagram, Twitter, blah, 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 I actually don't think I had any self-esteem issues at all. But after I started becoming after I started becoming a streamer or like YouTuber and putting myself on the internet, it definitely, I think for many people, develops like a complex, develops like, like self-esteem issues, or like, there's a lot of comparing. There's always like that grind, and there's always like that next level thing you want to reach. And there's always like people, the peers that you're with, who might have, better numbers. And like, it's definitely like, your own set of challenges, and it's work. And I think that most people who think that it might be easy have just never done it themselves. Like, you definitely just don't see it. And obviously there's also like the other weird shit that happens too, right? Like there's some parasocial things that happen, or like people who stalk you, people who like try to like make weird comments, and like people who make rude comments, people who make unsolicited like shit, people who are just shitty to you for no reason, even when you don't do anything. You're literally just trying to exist. You're actually trying to entertain and make people's days, or whatever it is, right? You're just trying to be you, you're trying to just be a streamer. And then some random person can come and be like, you're fat, you're ugly, you're not funny, or like whatever it is. It's not fun, And I think because like you're putting yourself on the internet, you're always open to that kind of stuff at any random point in any day, any second that you're online. And that's not something that your average person has to deal with every single day. My boss always tells us no one recruited you for this job. You signed up for this, you can quit anytime. It's like victim blaming. Huh? I didn't sign up to be told that I'm fat either. That's really toxic, dude. That's pretty toxic. Yeah, just quit. Not like you have to work and do like stuff. But yeah, with that, I hope that answers your question.
All that's just boxes, like cardboard boxes that we're supposed to take away.
Like break down and throw away.
Do you have a TV?
No, that would be normal.
Head on over to Best Buy, guys.
It's just like we have spent so much time just in our own rooms, like streaming and working, and like, dude, for like the past like several weekends, I haven't even been home. Like
this guy travels more than anyone I know.
I went to Boston. I went to Washington. Like Coachella. Like so many different events.
We're going to EDC and.
I put my health and even my life on the line every time I clock in for work. One misstep and I could potentially harm 20 other coworkers. I'm sorry, but streaming is simply not comparable. Different stress level, different level overall. Like I said, it's not comparable in a physical aspect, but mentally. And that doesn't sound like your average office job either. And I think it's weird to say, it's weird to compare struggles when you can't completely understand the struggles of the other side. And there's no reason to compare and make it a contest either. No one, yeah, it's not a contest. And I did say compared to the average, like, office job. I don't think, like, you need to say, like, oh, I'm definitely struggling more than you. Like, it's not comparable. I mean, okay. And I did say that, yes, every job has its own set of struggles. Every job has a different set of struggles. It could be mental, it could be physical, it could be any different thing, right? But I never once said that certain jobs are not difficult. I think every job has difficulties.
In 4 days.
Yeah, we're going
5
to
days.
EDC
It's
soon.
like 4 days?
Yeah, it's 4 days. It's this week.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's what I said when I was like, so I don't have a ticket yet. I don't have flights booked.
Same. I'm in your boat.
Absolutely deranged take.
So, like, I still think I'm gonna go, but like I tell people I'm gonna go for 2 days.
I'm not going.
You're not going?
I canceled.
I feel like you should go just for Vegas and not for EDC.
I don't even need to go to
Dude,
Vegas right now.
that is actually another thing too that you just proved. I'm literally saying something I feel like is a pretty, woketh take. Someone took my words and like bent it in another way. And that's something I have to deal with on a daily basis, where I say something that is pretty normal and makes a lot of sense. Someone will take what I say and just fucking send it to another direction. And I'm like, I didn't say that. You know what I mean? Like, why do I have to deal with some shit like that? Why do I have to deal with that? And then someone's going to be like, you're the one who's putting yourself on the internet. You're the one who's... And I'm like...
I have not done anything that I want to do in a really long time. And I was like, and I don't really like festivals. I don't want to go. Okay. I was like, oh my God, I don't have to go. And now my weekend is free and I'm going to do whatever I want.
We were spending all week talking about how we...
Live demo. It do be a live demo.
Wow, that sucks.
Wow, she's changed. She's changed. Oh my God.
I have to say, I think Jodi has more discipline in terms of not being guilt tripped into things.
It's true.
It's more just like I feel like I have just constantly been doing shoulds. Like I should do this. Oh, I should go. I should, rather than be like I want to. And I have not done a lot of wants. And so now I'm just like, fuck it, I am staying home.
I do the exact opposite, where I do too many wants and not enough shoulds. And then I'm like, oh, my life spiraled a little too hard the other way.
Really?
Yes.
But are you fulfilled?
Not on probably the opposite aspect of you, yes. But like on the other end, like it's fucking burning. And I'm like, oh shit, I need to fix some fires.
The house is on fire.
Yeah. It's like I'm sitting in there, I'm like, yeah, I could live here, but like I would like everything to be good. So I'm too much on the other spectrum.
Really?
Sure.
It's just the balance.
Yes.
Peter seems to have a good balance. Really?
I think it's more just... It's okay. I was kind of getting burnt out on travel a little bit because I just wanted to just like fucking lay in bed for a little bit. But it's been good. I just, dating Anita has been awesome. Like bringing her to these new experiences is awesome. Like she's not involved in the streaming world in any way whatsoever. So like just kind of showing like her like what like my kind of life entails, I guess, has been cool. And
Good night,
it's been good. I will say though that I've realized that traveling kind of made me, I have like a toxic mindset when it comes to always being productive during travel. For some reason, when I'm home, always being productive, not that important. But like when I'm traveling, I'm like, I should somehow be productive on this trip. It's like, why am I doing this on this trip? Why can't I just like enjoy the trip for what it is, you know? Why do I not have this like sudden urge to be super productive when I'm home? Like, you know.
Hard to believe introverts survive a streamer career. No, actually, most of my friends are introverted. Actually, no, it should be easier for you to survive because you don't have people next to you when you're streaming. You could just do your own thing, play video games, and have a chat. That's not, it's like they're there, but like they don't really have to be there in a sense. Yeah, I think it's actually really good for people who are introverted. If anything, I feel like, no, I think being introverted or extroverted is fine for being streamer. I think they're fine. Like, I definitely get a lot of good energy when my chat is giving good energy to me, and that helps power me as an extrovert. And for introverted people, like you're doing your job in the comfort of your own home. Like you don't have to see people face to face, and you have chat there for company. Yeah, no, I definitely think it's a comfy job for introverts. Chat is a collective blob. We are all the same people. Yep. No, I think it's definitely fun. I think that especially the Twitch chat culture it's so nuanced, it's so unique. And I think especially if each individual streamer does a good job kind of like training their community in a sense. Training, you know, and whipping them into the shape that they like them to be. I think it can be very fun. Like I love my chat. Definitely needed some
weird.
You know,
So
some training.
Maybe it's because that's the content that you
Some
are
training.
seeking right now. That you want to do more lifestyle content and fulfill
I
you.
don't though.
Okay,
it's more just like I think it's more just like I'm worried about like, oh, am I streaming enough? Like if I'm away, like while traveling, I'm obviously not streaming.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna have to pump more streaming hours when I get back. Like I stress about that stuff, but like when I'm home, I'm like, I don't really feel like streaming.
Yeah.
Who cares, you know?
I mean, that's, I think, really why
True,
streaming,
true.
streaming is consuming, and that's probably one of the reasons. Because, like, we can't really leave without thinking about work.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, I do work all the time on Discord, and I also talk to friends on Discord. So it's like, when I talk to friends and I see like a little bubble pop up, I'm
Morning
like,
Bear.
shit, that's a person who's doing like something for me, right? I have to talk to them immediately. It's like I'm never out of work.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Ever.
I know.
Because like Discord and like is like where I do my work.
Yes. I actually had a very similar problem when I was talking to my therapist. She's like, yeah, you're kind of available 24/7. I was like, yeah. She's like, don't do that. Like, how are you ever supposed to relax and quote unquote clock out if you're always available? I was like, oh yeah, you make a lot of sense here.
That therapist probably says that a fuck ton to like every streamer. Like, because I think it's a very common like undercurrent, like just with all of us, you know, like we are constantly kind of like tapped into streaming in some way.
I talked to a workaholic recently, and she was like someone who's like super hardworking, and she said the most important thing she's learned recently is how to take one day off a week. And I'm like, what? And she's like, no, it means literally the world to just take one day off a week. It doesn't matter what the fuck you do. I'm like, really?
Dude.
It meant more for her.
You know what's crazy is that like a long time ago, I was like, oh my God, I have to at least take one day off a week. And now I'm like, I can take 2 days off a week. I'm like slowly learning to take time off. And it's actually an active effort because there's so much guilt in not streaming every day. So I went from taking 1 day off a week to now taking 2 days off a week, which is good. It's good for me.
Anything else? I was shocked.
Yeah. Having me time, I'm like, oh God, yeah, I can just do whatever I want, whenever I want, at this one time. Okay, cool.
For me, I feel like I have my me time. My me time for me is like staying in bed. So like, a lot of time, no, I do that every day. So like that's why I'm like I always have my me time, and so when I wake up, I'm like I should be productive. But I don't know if that makes sense. Kind of.
Wait, what do you mean?
So like my me time is me staying in bed.
Right.
The longer I stay in bed, the more me time I have. But I do that every day.
Right.
So like because of that, I always feel like I don't need time for myself because I make that
Pork,
time.
pork.
I stretch my mornings to like afternoons to evenings if I feel bad or like I feel like I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I always get up. I'm like, I need to be productive, or I want to be productive in some way, shape, or form.
I see. So you're saying like bed to you is me time, but as soon as you get out of bed, you're like, well, it's time to be productive rather than go on a walk with Peter.
There's like no me time out of bed.
Go on a walk with
My time
Peter.
in bed on my phone where I'm fucking watching people's streams, or like fucking reading. I'm just like this. I'm like, oh fuck, it's like six already. Okay, I need to get out of bed, and I get out of bed, and then my day is boom productive.
John was telling me, he's like, Jodi, like, what if we just woke up at 9:30 every day? I'm like, okay. He's like, well, would you be more fulfilled? Because generally, I'm the same. Me time is like laying down in bed or like doing whatever in my room, but it's never like anything quote unquote productive. He's like, what if you just started your day a little earlier? Because then you would have felt fulfilled by your me time, and then you'll like kick yourself to be productive at a later.
Is it weird listening to a podcast of people that you often have conversations with, but not being able to hop in the conversation? No? That's it. That's all I want to say.
Later time. And I'm like, yeah, but that means I gotta wake up at 9:30, and I'm not gonna do that. So, but maybe I could. Maybe 9:30 a.m. Jodi's coming up, and
I'll join you for 9:30.
I actually want it.
I'm just trying to do a thing where like I like go out like once a week or something just to make sure that like it's nice. Like I was out the other day eating, and I was like, oh fuck, it's nice to be out with people.
Actually, it's more fun. Well, I mean, like obviously it would be fun to be part of the podcast, but I actually like listening to them and then making my own comments about their conversation, and then also telling you guys stories or like little anecdotes about my thoughts and stories related to the topics they talk about. So it's fun. I like listening to podcasts and then chiming in like third party.
That's what I was actually going to ask after this podcast. If you guys
And at my own pace. That is true.
Let's do it.
Yay.
I
wasn't inviting you. I'm just kidding. You can come. Anyone can come.
I think that's why I feel a little more fulfilled lately, just because like being in a new relationship.
I
Is, like,
fucking hate this guy.
dude. I'm sorry. I feel kind of bad.
No, I don't talk about
And I wonder if there's like exhaustion.
I think the only thing that I have done is like I'd be like, oh yeah, I watched your podcast or whatever, and I'd be like, that was pretty funny or something like that. But I don't like pick on a specific topic and then bring it up with them unless like it was really compelling in that way. Yeah.
This podcast. So let me point out some topics. So, do you ever talk about your ex all the time to your current ex? So I'm like, I just was like, yeah, okay, yeah, all the fucking time, guys.
Scarra.
Shit.
Scarra, like I'm just telling you, man. We all collectively have very high standards, but you are just a incredibly attractive machine.
Shut the fuck up.
And it's true though. It's true though.
There's literally someone out there for everyone.
Yeah.
Look at Peter found someone.
This guy found her in.
It
was a unicorn. It was a unicorn.
A unicorn.
I'm convinced this guy just got lucky.
I did.
He literally he went out, rolled like several 100-sided dice, all hit 100 on all of them, and was like, oh, there's Anita.
I did.
I mean, Anita's like, she's amazing. So
yeah, I'm very lucky.
But I actually enjoy hearing you talk about her because I can see how happy she makes you.
Yeah.
And like Peter in Love is like peak Peter.
Yeah.
You know?
She makes me very happy.
I don't mind hearing about it. Like I want you to talk about her.
Yeah. But like sorry. But I was just gonna say like she helps me introduce like more balance in terms of because like it's very easy to just like hermit and do your own thing for a while, but like she brings me out more to just like go outside literally.
Do you guys ever feel like being unbalanced is okay? I feel like
I don't know. I think that in general,
yes,
our day-to-day should have balance, and it's okay to be like off balance obviously like a couple times, but I think I am unbalanced every day, and I occasionally find balance, but I would say it's like 70-30.
That's me. But
so
it's like,
that's why I don't
it's like 80-20
think it's okay.
or 90-10.
Yeah.
I mean, I find unbalanced to be like when you notice that it's like affecting you negatively in some way, but you persist knowing that you're just kind of putting up with the negativity.
Wow, yeah.
You know what I mean? So like even if like it doesn't hit like the the modern work-life balance, like ratio, whatever that is, like if you are like fulfilled doing it, I don't really see the issue. Like, who are you changing up your lifestyle for? Yourself, or like some like standard set by like, you know, other people? Yeah.
Well, mine is like I am not fulfilled, and I'm overworked, and I'm burnt out, and I'm tired.
Yeah.
So yeah, my 70-30 really needs to go back to 50-50.
I agree. Holy fuck.
Yeah, like you know that like it's affecting you in a negative way.
Yeah.
So like some change is needed.
Yeah.
So like if you are like,
Thanks,
if some guys
Trini.
on their Sigma male grind set, you know, they're hitting the 90-10, 95-5 or something, but then they don't really perceive that any like aspect of their life is really being affected negatively, then like, dude, hit that 95-5. Man.
I'm always really impressed by creators because usually what happens is like when people make it big,
You made it back
or,
home.
like, really big, they like
Good
blow
job.
off like some random thing, some lightning strikes a bottle kind of thing, and you can tell they're just on the grind for like the next couple months or next like couple years. I know people who have elongated that grind really long. I know people who have done like a short amount of it, but the grind immediately following the success is always like, to me, like wild. I'm always like, holy, that's the time where you look at someone, you're like, this guy is fucking hustling. Like, so hard. It happened to like Pokey, it happened to Ray. I think I saw you doing it a lot too. And it was just like, as soon as you get the success,
The
like
boom.
the capture, it's like the next couple of months, I'm just like, oh my God, they are fucking hustling.
Well,
I think it was everyone during Among Us. Literally everyone during the Among Us boom era. Boom. Everybody went up in numbers. Like Twitch went up in numbers. YouTube, anybody who was doing Among Us, everyone wanted to go up and up for good reason. Like, you're gonna want to ride the wave, right? Like, if you miss your train, you're never gonna get back on the same one again. You just gotta go. All right, Corito. Very cool. Sniffing ass. Very cool.
I think those are the easiest moments to hustle, right?
That's true.
Because I think that generally streaming is one of those jobs where you actually don't really see a lot of correlation with like direct success and work. But during those months where you are like seeing that growth, you're like, all right, this is where it will equate to success. Like I will put in a little more effort and I will see a little more growth. And those are the months where I'd say like, yeah, that's worth it. But I think as soon as like that stops happening, then it's kind of like, I'm gonna relax.
You relaxed yet?
No.
Don't be sorry.
Well, I also don't think I'm on the grind either. If anything, I'm trying to find some sort of
I think
like find your groove.
I think the people who are able to find a balance it's really hard.
Yeah.
Like, even like no matter how successful people are, like you can tell when it's not really well balanced.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think streaming also like is it like I don't see any people really do it well. Like a balance of
Oh no, because like especially when you get uber successful for streaming, like the best thing you can do is just stream more.
Yeah.
Like Uber, like we're talking like concurrent 5-figure like 20K.
Yeah.
Like the deals people get, like the $1 million deals, are because they stream a lot. It's like kind of crazy. Like up there's no deal that you can get that's worth more than like essentially whatever like your stream essentially.
Yeah.
It's just really weird.
Yeah, like streaming 12 to 15 hours a day is like
crazy.
is technically not very good for you.
I think also for, streamers who are already successful or like they're on the bigger side of things, it doesn't make sense to try to achieve the balance now because the mindset is you're going to make as much money as you can when you're younger, right? You only get older. And if right now at this age you are able to make copious amounts of money, you're going to grind it out until you can continue to make so much more money so that you can retire early or like retire comfortably. And then, when you're 30, when you're 40, you'll be in a really comfortable place financially and you can do whatever the fuck you want. But then also there's, like the age versus time versus, whatever. And obviously, sometimes when you get too old, you're like, oh, I can't do the same thing anymore that well. And, that obviously sucks. But hopefully they can, still find time to do things at a certain age.
In the long run? But like during the grind
Hello,
months, I think
Bob.
it's like, yeah, but like every day that's like
Wendy
a lot
gonna
on
retire
your
someday? I'll
body,
retire
you're
when I'm
probably
60.
not sleeping
Dude,
very
I'm
well.
gonna be
Hassan
working
posted
until I'm
his
dead.
Hours for the last year, was it?
I'm gonna be
That
working till I'm
motherfucker.
dead.
$350 a month every day.
Every month. He was addicted to the grind.
He was streaming 2/3 of every. I think no 1/3 of overall hours of the year.
Holy shit.
She.
Yeah, you're addicted to the grind.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy streams more than anyone.
Yeah.
It's a monster. Yeah.
Holy fuck. I stream
Oh my.
60 to 80 hours a month.
Sheesh, Hokano. Oh my god, thank you so much for the 100 gifties. Shit. Wow, where did my voice go? Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. Holy moly. Thank you. And Oiler. Pet the oil. Thank you so much. If you guys got a gifty from Hokano, make sure you thank him for the gifty. Thank you so much. Yeah, my voice disappeared. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Great.
I think that's
Wendy will even try to clean her coffin after death. Yeah, when I die and I become a ghost, I'm gonna drop by with like a Dyson vacuum. And like a Swiffer, I'm gonna be cleaning my own coffin when I'm dead. Clean freak.
what I.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
that's great.
See, but it doesn't feel great. Because I hear about Hassan streaming 300
No, it's
an hour.
because everything is like compared to the others, right? Like I know
Floating
definitely when people live
vacuum.
with me, they get pressured to stream more. Sorry.
I don't. Feel
Oh, never mind. This guy's fucking.
I don't feel pressure, but from you guys, I feel pressure just from myself and my community. Because like I just feel bad.
I know what you mean.
That's why like I started instituting like a community stream day where like I orient my content towards like interacting with my community more, just so I feel more of like a bond with the people that actually bother to watch the
Yeah.
stream. You know what I mean? So like, okay, this sounds egotistical. It's like their reward for watching all my Valorant streams. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my god.
So, but yeah, like I think I used to feel a lot of pressure by the amount of hours other people streamed. Like in the past, like I would feel like bad that I would stream like 60 to 80 hours compared to like others like 120 to 200. But now it's just like I really realize I've been to both like the 200-hour zone and the 60-hour zone, and like I didn't feel much happier in
Yeah.
the 200-hour zone. Like I'm not in that aspect of my stream, or I'm not in that phase of my streaming career right now where like where
Agreed.
you're saying like you
Yeah,
put in like
yes.
the incredible amount of
Yes.
hours and you immediately see like you reap the rewards of doing it. The only thing I see is that I streamed an incredible amount of hours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I personally
do.
just think one of my strengths is streaming a long time, or like enjoying it a long time. So like, I can't imagine a month I stream under 150 hours. Like, I actually think if you check my last 30 months, you'd be hard pressed to find a month under 150 hours.
Probably.
But just because like I enjoy it, I think
Yeah.
there's some number between like 150 and 250 where I'm like, that is too fucking much. But I don't know, and it's different for every
Yeah.
month. But like, I think generally speaking, I just like streaming.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, no, actually, for sure. Actually, the amount that I've been streaming, I literally looked at it and I'm like, am I slacking? Am I slacking off? I'm only streaming 150 hours every month. Am I slacking? That's literally how I feel. Actually, I'm so curious. I'm gonna take a look. Okay, let's see. Let's see like 2021. In January 2021, I streamed. Let me take a lookie. Oh, what happened? What happened? What happened? One sec. Technology, why are you like this? Oh, here we go. In January 2021, I streamed 177 hours. Okay. In February 2021, I streamed 157. Oh, was it in 2020 then that I've been streaming a lot? Let's see. In March, wait, why? What are we be laughing about? In March 2021, I streamed 176. In April, I streamed 340 hours. Must have been a subathon thing. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I messed up. In April, I streamed 173. In May, I streamed 166. In June, 124. Wow, that's pretty low. In July, 95? What was I doing? Did I even exist? What was I doing? My god, I slacked off. In August, 165 hours. Slacked off in July, come back in full force in August. September. Oh, Vegas. I think that was Vegas trip. Yeah. September was 244 hours. October, 124. November, 173. December, 137. Yeah, I think it was in 2020 then that I was still streaming like an insane amount of hours. Let me see. 2020 January. This is so interesting. I've never really like actually looked at it all. January 2020, 123. Oh no, you know, I have to look during June. I think June was when Among Us started. June. $167 hours. July, 184 hours. August, 209. September, 185. October, 180. November, 164. December, 223. Yeah. Those were during Among Us hours. Yeah, for sure.
Well, no, I actually feel very similar. I fucking love streaming. One thing I hate is being on camera, which VTuber, but also like
VTuber.
I hate everything else that I have to do with streaming. Like I don't want to do sponsored streams, but I have to.
What did you primarily stream before Among Us? Oh, I streamed a lot of League, but I also streamed a lot of different like. December was FTB. Yeah, I think Minecraft months are also very thing. Yeah, I used to stream a lot of variety, but also mostly League. I would say I was like 80% League of Legends and then 20% Steam games, which is why I feel like nowadays people try to suggest games to me and I'm like, I played that and I played that and I played that, but nobody. And I wish that in all those years that I played those games, I could like unplay them and play them now. But I've played so many of them and so many of them are good. Like it would have been nice to stream it to my current audience, but yeah.
Pay the bills. And I don't want to do all the things that like the little things that I have to do and all the meetings and all this random shit that I'm like, you didn't have in the beginning when you were a small streamer.
Yeah, like dude, I used to stream 180 hours a month.
I feel like I was in
playing
the same boat.
PUBG to no one.
Yes.
I had no sponsors. I didn't even have like alerts for donations. Like
this is me.
I was not focused on the financial aspect whatsoever. And there's like kind of like a beauty to that, you know?
Because it was a hobby, and I don't want to sound ungrateful because I am grateful for this opportunity to stream and to have this job. But it's actually just like I wish that I could just degenerate stream, but there's a part of me in the back of my head.
No,
that's
I
like,
haven't.
Jodi, this is a finite time where you will be a streamer, and therefore you need to grind and do everything that you can and all the shoulds so that you can like.
So I'm retire. So far on the other spectrum that I'll put it this way: I haven't had a sponsor in 4 months, and like I turned down the like whatever sponsors that come up, and like I literally stream just to stream, and like, but I think that's really bad because it's too far.
I don't know. I feel like I'm on this way, you're this way, and like we're both
somewhere in the middle for sure. I think I also think like I'm at the tail end of where like I am on one of my trots where like literally like because my career has been like high low. I'm kind of near like the trough end. I'm hoping it goes back up. But I realized that when it goes back up, you are a lot more busy. Like you just like talk to more people. You have these meetings where like you're not really streaming. I think for me, I always stream. And like everything else that happens in this thing, I just push aside. So like I'm definitely exact opposite spectrum. I don't have meetings. I don't fucking do sponsors. It's just stream nonstop. But I don't feel like that's super all the way fulfilling. So like I need some of the part you're at.
Yeah. I have too much of it. You can have some.
Yeah. And then give me some of that.
We'll meet in the middle.
Yeah, we'll definitely be in the middle.